God bless you on this particular scope, or if you're watching this via Facebook or YouTube. Now, I'm having a problem with Periscope right now. For some reason, I don't know whether somebody has hacked me, but my camera won't flip. And, don't know, so you learn to improvise. If my camera won't turn from the back to the front, then I'll just tape all of my Periscope offerings via another way. But I wanted to talk with you about winning the battle for recognition. Many times in life, we all want to be affirmed, we all want to be substantiated, we all want to feel like we matter. but you can spend your whole life trying to please folks, trying to impress folks, trying to matter to people that you'll never matter to. Look, there's a passage of scripture that said, whatever thy hands find to do, do it with all your might. So if you're in a particular field, a particular craft, your ministry, your place in the marketplace, that if you do, you give it your all, that you spend long hours, that you get there early, stay there late, you study your craft, you study the best in your industry, and then you leave it all on the field. There are some people that want you to depend on their affirmations. They want you to depend on their validations. They want to tell you that you matter. And many times you're going to have to get confident enough and trust God that you commit your works to God, and then you trust God for the rest. There are some people that will never affirm you. Sometimes in business settings, you do want to get the plaudits that should go to someone that works as hard as you do, that has done work that you know is above, going past the norm, that's above average work, it's approaching excellence, that you've laid it all on the field. And then you're going to allow that no one gives you credit, or no one calls you out, singles you out. And you can't be a slave to the opinions or the affirmations of other people. You got to do it as unto God. Give everything your best and give it your all. And if they never want to give you credit, if they never want to call your name out, if they never want to single you out, hey, sometimes you got to let them name it. You just do it. You do what you are called to do. Do your very best. Give it your all. And whether they affirm you, whether they substantiate you, whether they validate you or not, sometimes you got to let your work speak for itself. Look, folks, you can spend all times of day and all times of night trying to rub shoulders and get in the right crowd and scratch backs and laugh at jokes that are nowhere near funny for people that will never validate you in the light of day. They see your brilliance. They see that you approach your endeavors with excellence, and they won't give you any plaudits. Look, folks, when they're naming all the great preachers in town, and you're a preacher, and they never call your name out, and you know what the Lord has blessed you with, you know how you blessed other people with it, are you less of a preacher because they don't call you out? If you're the best in your field and no one ever gives you credit, when you're excellence, you want award after award after award, and everybody's got an explanation for why you get it, and they never want to give you any credit. Look, folks, so you're going to be a slave to the affirmations of other people. Leave it all on the field. Give everything in life your very best, and dedicate your works unto God. And then you let them folks deal with it. God's got a day. There's a passage of scripture that God said, even in the book of Joshua, he said, today I will begin to magnify thee in the eyes of all of Israel. That God's taking your PR, your substantiation, your validation, your affirmation, he's taking that very personally. God's going to do things in the light of day, where he'll affirm that his hand of favor is upon your life. But you can't stay a slave to the opinions of others. Opinions are like bottoms. Everybody has one. And there are some people that are dead set that they will never give you any affirmation, never give you any substantiation, never give you any validation, never give you any kudos, never give you any credit. But folks, if you left excellence on the field, excellence speaks for itself. Look, folks, don't worry about them not calling your name out. You just do what God is giving you to do. If God, if you're passionate about what you do, if you catch on fire, I submit to you, child of God, that the world will come and see you burn. You'd never be a slave to the opinion of others. Never be a slave to the affirmation of others. If they never let you in the preacher's club or the preacher's crowd or the preacher's crew, and you know what God gave you, and you give it your very best, you've done what God has called you to do. There are some circles that you were never meant to crack because you're bigger than that circle. It's amazing sometimes that God has given us a coast that's even wider than the one we're trying to crack. And we're still trying to crack a particular coast. God put greatness in you. God gave you purpose. Your circle, you're bigger than that circle. God made you bigger than the circle that you're so eagerly trying to rub shoulders and make connections and pass out cards to get in. God gave you an awesome call. Whether they validate you, call your name, I'll give you credit, kudos, or a heads up. If it's excellent, excellence speaks for itself. My word to you is don't be a slave to the opinions and whims of fickle folks. Now, on Periscope, whatever's something happening with my Periscope right now, I'm going to keep on preaching. You just got to get innovative. I got to upload it somewhere for it to get to you. But look, folks, don't stay a slave to opinion. And don't run after people for affirmation. When you do what you're called to do, what God has placed upon your life, and you do it with excellence, your work will speak for itself. Sometimes they're never going to give you credit. If you preach the greatest sermon ever, some won't even give you any kudos. If you ran a 2.5 minute mile, they'll play like they didn't see it. Look, folks, you can't stay slaves. Some folks are determined to never give you any credit. God's going to bless your work. God's blessing that which you have put your hands to do. And you can't stay a slave to the opinions, whims, and stop jockeying folks for credit. It's my word to you. What God has given you to do is bigger than all those folks can handle. That's why they never call your name. But don't worry when they don't call your name, because God has called your name. And the day is coming where God will prepare a table before you in the presence of all those folks. And the name that they don't want to call, God's going to make them call it. God's going to establish your name. He's going to affirm you in the light of day. He's going to enlarge your coast. He's going to strengthen your network. God's going to enhance your influence. Look, folks, you don't need to stay a slave to the whims of fickle folks. It's my word to you. It's my scope, my Facebook, and wherever else this may go. Stop playing up to fickle folk. My word to you. God bless.